you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we are going to be discussing some of the things that I watched, some of the things that I want to get to before the end of the year, and yeah, some stuff like that, some plans I have for some television. But first, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. So I know school is back in session, people are going to work and all of those things. If you have a packed schedule and it's really hard for you to plan out your meals and plan out what you need to get from the grocery store, HelloFresh is here for you. Every week they have the option of over 30 plus recipes and 70 convenience items that you will get to choose from and decide what you want to eat for the week, and it will be delivered right to your door. HelloFresh is very flexible and it works with your schedule. You can go in, you can change your meals, you can change the proteins you want in your meals, you can skip a week. It's really up to you to decide how you plan out your HelloFresh schedule. That's what I love the most about HelloFresh. Going in, choosing what I want, choosing when I want it, and all of that stuff is just really easy and fits right into your schedule. HelloFresh has this option for fit and wholesome meals, and that helps for you to reach goals. I know a lot of people have fitness goals or they have goals on the types of things they want to eat. For me, I want to be more mindful and eat more vegetables, and HelloFresh's fit and wholesome meals allows for you to do that. It gives you options for meals that can fit into the dietary restrictions or the dietary needs that you want for your meals for the week. HelloFresh is also all about sustainability. A great thing about HelloFresh is that everything comes pre-portioned. I always see tweets and I always see people talking about how, like, when you live alone or you live with one other person, it's really hard to go grocery shopping because you end up wasting like everything because you don't need it all. HelloFresh allows for things to come pre-portioned so everything fits what you need. So if you get meals for 4 people, you get enough stuff for 4 people. If you get meals for 2 people, you get enough stuff for 2 people. So you help to reduce the waste that comes into your home and throwing things away and stuff like that. So if you would like to try HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com, use code AsToldByKenya65, and you can get 65% off, and also you will get free shipping. HelloFresh, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on into it. Okay, so let's talk about some things that I have watched. I have not watched a lot of TV recently. I said that in the last video and I haven't, but actually the biggest thing I haven't done in like the past month since I've spoken to you guys, I haven't gone to the movies. I did go see Bodies in the movies, and all I want to say about the Bodies things, after everything happened with the whole New York Times reporter, I want to say that New York Times reporter was like wrong. I came in there expecting to see titties, and I did not get that. So like, I thought Bodies was a perfectly fine movie. I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Like, I don't know, it's one of those movies like I totally could have waited to go see it on streaming, but like going to the movie theater and seeing it also wasn't a bad experience. Like, it was fine. Like, I thought Amanda Steinberg was fine, and like, it was just a fine movie. I just didn't have too many like gripes about it. I don't know, but what I do want to say is that New York Times reporter was reaching a little bit. Like, I know, I don't agree with that take, but you know what? I'm not trying to get no useless, stupid ass beef over that goddamn movie. So like, I did see Bodies, but other than that, I have not gone to the movies. I don't know, I just haven't been in the movie going mood. I really haven't been in the leave my house mood, so I haven't gone to the movies. I've only seen Bodies, and I thought it was decent to good. Like, it wasn't great, it was decent to good. So that was an experience, but I did see some things in the comfort of my own home. The first one is Orphan First Kill. So like, I was kind of late to the Orphan, like the first Orphan movie, like bandwagon. I saw that movie for the first time, I think like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I saw that movie for the first time, and like, it was one of those movies, like what, like, it was more like funny and more like whoa than it was anything else and like scary. Like it was a fun time. I'm so sorry. Like if I had to rate that movie, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Like sorry, I had a good time with it. Like it was a good time. I don't watch ridiculously scary movies. That is just simply not my gig. But so when Orphan First Kill came out on Paramount Plus, obviously I was going to be tuned in. Like what, who you talking about? Of course I was going to be tuned in. What are my thoughts on Orphan First Kill? If you go in just wanting to watch something on a Friday night, you will get what you come for. Like you get what you come for. Like the choices that were made in the editing room about like how to make the actress still look like she's a little girl. That was a lot. That was a lot, but overall, I'm gonna give the movie like 3, leaning more 2.5. Like I don't know what honestly to say about it. I found myself laughing many times during the movie. It was funny. It was funny, but you want to know what? There's nothing wrong. I like to think of movies like Ma. Like I saw Ma with Octavia Spencer. I saw that in theaters, and like that was one of the most fun theater experiences I ever had in my life because it was just so ridiculous. That's what Orphan First Kill gave me. Like I'm sorry, I was sitting on my couch like plugged into the mess. Like I'm so sorry. Like I'm sure that's not what its intentions were. So like you have to have a conversation on how you grade movies. Do you grade movies on if they reach what they were, did they do what they were trying to do? Did they accomplish what they were trying to accomplish? Or do you rate movies on like how much you enjoy them, you know? If I had to do it on my enjoyment, a 3 out of time. The next thing I saw was Prey. Now this is where like you have to excuse me. I have never seen any of the Predator Prey movies. I went back and I saw some of the one with Sterling K. Brown. I believe that's one of them. I saw some of that, but like I've never seen a Predator Prey movie. So, but everyone was talking about Prey. It was on Hulu, so I went and watched it. Boy, did I have a good time. I'm giving that movie 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it. That movie should have been a theatrical release. It should have been released in theaters because it was so good. It was so good. It was so well edited. The CGI was so good. It was so well acted. I loved every minute of it. I was at the edge of my seat. Like it was just such a fun time. Like this is that, like, I don't know, a random thing about me. It's kind of like how I like Fast and Furious movies. A random thing like me, I love movies like that. Like I don't know how you just would describe Prey, but I love movies like that. And all the nasty gutter butt people upset that she's like a woman. I don't know. I wasn't too plugged into the discourse because as you can see by my stop arguing with people about Black mermaids, I don't need to be plugged into all the discourse about people just being blatantly misogynist, blatantly racist. Like I don't have no time for that. I just do not have time for that in my life. But like I loved it. I am so sorry. I loved it. I actually saw it twice. Because someone I know hadn't seen it, and I'm like, we have to watch this. Like we have to watch it. And what I loved the most about it was like these days and day and age when you when you watch a movie at home, you don't expect much. You don't expect much. Like, you know, you come, you get what you came for. But no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The next thing I saw, which I'm not sure if I talked about, was They/Them. I actually saw this like 2 months ago, but I forgot to talk about it. I watched They/Them on what? Peacock. Ooh, 1 out of 5 stars. Ooh, 1 out of 5 stars. This movie had no clue what it wanted to be. At some point, you're like, okay, this is like a slasher. Everyone dies one by one. The next minute, it turns into Glee. The next minute, like, it just didn't know what it wanted to be. And like, it wasn't good. The best scene in the movie is when they're shooting the guns, and like all that scene is like the best scene in the movie. Like, it's just, no, if you haven't seen They/Them, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because it's not good. It's not good. Like, here's the thing. I can, like, appreciate, like, something that is bad, but, like, I enjoyed myself, Orphan First Kill. But I didn't even enjoy myself. Like, I was bored. I was bored. And then you get to the end and you're just like when they were singing Pink in the cabin, like it almost reached the point where it was camp and I was enjoying it. Like, whoa, like I had to like check myself a little bit because as they were singing fucking Perfect in the little camp, if you haven't seen They/Them, this sounds nuts, but they were singing Pink in the little cabins. And like it got to the point where I was so like over it, nothing interesting had happened before then, that I was kind of into it in a weird way. Like, so no, that wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. The next thing that I watched was the Manti Te'o doc on Netflix. So the Manti Te'o doc is all about, if you remember Manti Te'o, he played for Notre Dame. They lost in the national championship to the University of Alabama. Roll Tide, bitches. But that's not the point. Manti Te'o had a girlfriend who died. His grandmother also died. And then it came out that the girlfriend in question was not real. Now, I remember, I'm a pop culture savant. Of course I remember this. I watch football and I'm a pop culture savant. Of course I remember this happening. And, but I was too young to be plugged into the discourse. And it's kind of something that has like left my mind. It just left my mind because like I'm not Manti Te'o. So like it didn't affect me in any way. So like once it was out of the news, I stopped caring. But then now that you look back on it, and if I would have looked back on it, if I was thinking about it, it's so obvious. Like the biggest the reason why people made a joke out of all of this was just pure homophobia. I remember how quickly the conversation turned into, does Manti Te'o like boys? I quickly remember how quickly that became the conversation. It quickly became a conversation that Manti Te'o was was lying about his girlfriend because he really likes boys. He's gay. And that quickly became the conversation. And it became that conversation because people were 100% just being homophobic. Being homophobic to somebody who actually wasn't even gay. Like, it was just really nasty the way in which Manti Te'o was treated. Of course, hindsight being 2020, doing some Monday morning quarterbacking, but like it does make you have a conversation. And I was thinking about this to myself about how you have to, like, how we treat people, and how quickly I forgot. I remember the whole, like, getting Manti Te'o. Like, I remember all that. Like, I was there. I remember all of that. And it makes you wonder, like, how we just treat people and how we just, you run with the narrative because the narrative, but you don't know what people are, like, really going through. So you just have to be more mindful. I feel bad for Manti Te'o. It's great that, like, it seems like he's living a great life, but all that, like, he didn't deserve all of that, he didn't deserve all that. Even if worst case scenario, which isn't true, but if he did know what was going, like, you still don't treat people that way. I don't know. I guess the big thing is, like, we have to be careful which the ways, like, we treat people. And I do think media has gotten a little bit better about, like, just blatantly bullying people, but it's still bad. It's still things you, like, look back on, especially now. I'm thinking about the stuff that's going on with Cara Delevingne and all of that stuff. You just have to, I guess, be more mindful, and that's something myself I always have to work through. You could always be better tomorrow, and so, like, that's just something as I get older I'm thinking about. And the Manti Te'o doc really, like, shows that, like, you just have to be more intentional, I guess, and, like, we all can learn from that, especially myself, So that's what I took from it. Like, poor Manti Te'o. Like, I was watching the Notre Dame game, and I did see that Manti Te'o got, like, a big, like, standing ovation. He came back to Notre Dame. I guess they were, like, giving him something, an award. I don't know. But, like, and so, like, Manti Te'o deserves that, you still lost to Alabama in the national championship game. Roll Tide. But, good for Manti Te'o. Good that he finally got his story out and all of that stuff. You want to know something I didn't like about the doc? I don't know if the documentarians knew, if they interviewed Manti Te'o first before they interviewed the woman who was catfishing Manti Te'o. But I did not like that the documentarians didn't tell Manti Te'o that they went by she. They didn't tell Manti Te'o her pronouns. Like, I didn't like that, this misgendering. Like, it just seemed like there was a way. Like, I'm sure you guys already knew that they were trans, but maybe they did. I don't know. Something about that didn't like make sense to me. I'm just like, you couldn't tell Manti Te'o and everyone else that they were trans and like they're misgendering her. I don't know. That was a little funny, but like maybe I'm reading way too much into it. That could totally be the case. But anyway, we'll move on. I watched the rehearsals on HBO Max. The rehearsals on HBO Max might be one of my favorite shows I watched this year. Whoa. So the rehearsals on HBO Max is a show where like you can rehearse moments before you have to do them. So you come to this guy, he's a comedian, I forgot his name. I think his name is Nathan. You can come to him and he will help you rehearse things before you have to do them. And so you're just following these people go through these rehearsals. It's just so interesting. Just watch it. It is, you guys, I don't know if these moments are meant to be as funny as they are, but like there's an episode where he does a rehearsal for his own acting class that he teaches, and like he pretends to be one of the actors in his acting class. I've never seen a thing more funny. I have never seen an episode of TV more funny. I died laughing. It's so good. It's so ridiculous. I loved it. The next thing I watched, which is also one of my favorite shows of the year, Yellowjackets. I finally jumped on the Yellowjackets train. Yellowjackets is remarkable. Yellowjackets is what makes Yellowjackets so good. Yellowjackets is taking elements for so many different shows. The Wild, Lost, like so many different shows it's taking elements from, but it's taking the best elements from those shows and making this brilliant show. So Yellowjackets is about a group of girls who are on a soccer team and their plane crashes on the way to the national championship for their soccer league. And so like they end up stuck in the middle of nowhere for 19 months. And we are following them as they're on this island, like they're in the middle of nowhere by themselves. And we're also following them in present day, where it seems as if only a few of them have actually made it out alive. So we're trying to figure out what happened in these 20 years. Like, why are some people alive? Why are some people dead? Are the people dead? And then there's people haunting them saying they know what they did on the island. Just go watch it. Just go watch it. The show is pure brilliance, but you want to know what is really brilliant about the show? The casting and the acting performances. It really does feel like you're watching the same person in two different timelines. Like it never feels like you're seeing like two people play the same character, just different ages. Like it really feels like you're watching someone from the 1990s and you're watching somebody in 2021. The casting is so good. They feel like the same people. And secondly, the acting performances are so good. A lot of this show does start to veer into the supernatural and stuff like that, but the acting is so good that even if that's not your cup of tea, everyone is selling it so well. It's so good. It's so good. Yellowjackets is brilliant. The next thing I watched was Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, with Sterling K. Brown and Regina King. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Once again, it's the acting performances. Number one, usually we see Sterling K. Brown and stuff like This Is Us. I love This Is Us and stuff like that. So it was so interesting to see Sterling K. Brown in like a different type of role. Did absolutely amazing. Did I say Regina King? I definitely meant Regina Hall. Regina Hall is in this and she's just brilliant. She's just absolutely brilliant in this. I loved it. I watched it twice. I loved it. I don't know. I don't know. And what I loved the most about this movie was Regina Hall's character and like what you can take from it and what notes you can, like it leaves a lot to interpretation and it leaves a lot for your own, like it allows you to think, like what about this situation. I love the way it was shot. I loved it. I really did. really, really did. 4 out of 5 stars. The next thing I rewatched season 3 of Succession all in 2 days. I was just in a Succession mood. Sometimes I just get in the mood to watch a TV show, and I was just in a Succession mood. Succession won Best Drama at the Emmys, as it fucking should have. And like, I was in a Succession mood. And so like, I watched season 3 of Succession like again, and on rewatch, it's even more brilliant. Knowing how it's all going to end is just so brilliant. You just see the pieces like slowly making their way together. But what's so brilliant about season 3 is the power rankings. Like the way in which the power shifts every single episode. It really shows you that chaos is a ladder and how people use that to their advantage, and how you can have everything at one moment and lose it, and how fickle power is, and how fickle being in the lead is. Like, I loved it. Season 3 of Succession, all the bells say, is one of the best written episodes of television. That's why it won the Emmy for best writing in a drama, because it's brilliant. All the bells say it's one of the most brilliant episodes of TV I have ever seen in my life. Next, I am on a One Tree Hill rewatch. I love One Tree Hill. I have always loved One Tree Hill. There are TV shows that I feel like just make my childhood. One Tree Hill is a TV show like that encompasses my childhood. They used to show reruns of One Tree Hill on the Soap Network when I was a kid. And so during the summer, I used to like watch reruns of One Tree Hill, and I always thought One Tree Hill was a really, really old show, because when I was watching it on the Soap Network, I thought they were showing me like an old TV show, because they showed a lot of old TV shows on the Soap Network. But imagine my surprise when one day I realized season 5 was like starting, and that's when I started watching One Tree Hill on the CW as a kid, because I realized the show was still running. I didn't know that. But like, One Tree Hill is just one of those shows. I've been watching it since I was like 9, 10. I've been watching it for so long, maybe even before then. Yeah, it has to be before that. I've been watching it since I was like 8 years old. And so One Tree Hill is just one of those shows that it just makes me feel good. It takes me back to a time. I can't really objectively say if whether or not One Tree Hill is just this amazing show. It's this amazing show for me because it reminds me of a time. Every storyline means everything to me. Like, I just love One Tree Hill. So I've been doing a One Tree Hill rewatch. I'm on season 3. But here's the thing. Think about me. I've never finished One Tree Hill. I'm a Peyton Sawyer stan. There's nothing you can say. You can call her a home wrecker. You can call her whatever you want. But like, that's my mama. And like, you just gonna have to, you can tweet. But that's my mama. She can have whatever she wants. But I've never watched it through. Every time Lucas and Peyton leave, I leave. Like, I don't know. It's something about loyalty. I leave. I've seen the like series finale. I tuned in for the series finale, so I know how it ends. But I've never, all them little seasons, I've never seen. I did see Dan death episode. I did see that. Like, there's some things I've seen here or there, but like, I always stop. But this rewatch, I'm only on season 3. I'm literally on the school shooting episode as we speak. Last night, I got to the school shooting episode and I turned it off and went to bed. But I'm going to watch it all the way through this time. I'm going to watch it all the way through this time. Something else that's on my I'm going to watch Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls is another show that is just of my childhood. They used to show Gilmore Girls reruns every single day on ABC Family. And my older sister, we used to share a room, and she used to love Gilmore Girls. And that theme song was just imprinted in my head. So then finally, when I was like maybe in like 2012, I decided to go like watch Gilmore Girls for myself. I'd seen a lot of the episodes because of my sister growing up, but I said, I'm going to like really watch it. So I went to this like seedy website and I like watched it, and then Netflix came. I like started watching it on Netflix eventually, but like I went to the seedy website and started watching it. So Gilmore Girls is another show that holds a place in my heart. But I say that to say, as of the past, like, I think in 2015 I started this. Every October is my birthday month. Gilmore Girls has always been one of my favorite shows of all time since I rewatched it in like 2012. I do a Gilmore Girls rewatch every October. Every October I do a Gilmore Girls rewatch. I know it's like a thing now. It's like by the way, one of my first videos on this channel was a Gilmore Girls unpopular opinion video all the way back in like 2017. I made a Gilmore Girls unpopular opinions video. Like, I just love Gilmore Girls, and it's just one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So I always do a Gilmore Girls rewatch in October, and that's what I plan on doing starting in October because it brings back a vibe. So I know it's a thing now for all the little white girls to love Gilmore Girls and all that stuff, but I was there first. Well, I wasn't there first. You gotta give, like, my sister's an OG. My sister is an OG. She was really, really there first, you know? She was watching it as it was coming on, so she was there first. But when it comes to like rewatching, I was there second. Okay, I'm not a part of the new influx of fans that have come in the past few years. I feel like that's the thing. Gilmore Girls are like, it just blew. Like, I feel like as of like 2020, Gilmore Girls just like blew up. Like, whoa. Like, anyways, that's not the point. I'm not trying to gatekeep Gilmore Girls. I'm not even allowed to gatekeep Gilmore Girls because I started watching it in 2012. I'm not allowed to gatekeep Gilmore Girls. Well, I did start watching it as a kid. My sister just used to watch it. She used to love Gilmore Girls. Another thing that I want to see, I wrote down some stuff I want to see to hold myself responsible for some things. I want to see The Woman King because I've seen a lot of discourse and I want to be... I'm going to have my own opinions. I want to watch Dope Sick. I want to watch Better Call Saul. I did rewatch Dune because you guys know I did not like Dune. I did rewatch Dune. I bumped it up 1 star. I had it at 2. I'll move it up to 3. I have decided I am going to watch Dune 2. So like there's that on that. I thought I had some other shows. I want to get into How I Met Your Father. These are just some things I want to watch before the end of the year. So, The Woman King, Dope Sick, Better Call Saul, Loot, Flatbush Misdemeanors. Yeah, and I think, like, I want to watch Minx. Those are some shows I want to get to before the end of the year. But that's the end of this video. Anyway, HelloFresh, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video.